I've been looking at Michael Myers' hair because like his hair looks like a dinosaur's face.
Oh, right, like a dragon or
Like a
dinosaur.
dragon. Yeah.
Oh, totally.
It is
Stop
cool.
looking at my
And
chest, Caitlin. God,
I've
I'm
been
up
staring
here.
like that really looks like a dragon though. I didn't mean to not acknowledge your 2B reference the other day too. When you were messaging me and you said 2B. I was like earlier today I was like, "Oh, I never 2B'd her back."
To
It's like
be
our
or
thing. Like
not
2B's
to
like the
be,
shit.
Caitlin.
Did you just say 2B or not 2B?
Today, Caitlin and I are just talking about whatever we want. FYI, we're just gonna
This
talk
is
about
what
whatever we
Marie
want.
and I do every day anyway. We just ramble. So here we go.
Yeah,
Here we
so
go.
this is your gift. We're gonna talk
Yeah.
about movies. We'll talk about Christmas. We'll talk about spooky stuff. That's all gonna be part of it. Merry Christmas to you.
2B or not 2B is always 2B.
Yes, always.
2B because 2B is the best. It is the best. It like you're into found footage, I know that, obviously. I like indie sci-fi films. Best place to find them, 2B. I'm a little like, is there a filter at all about over what goes on TV? You know what I mean? Like sometimes I'm like, was this just like recorded somewhere? Like, is there Eddie's gatekeeper? I don't
Yeah.
know, but they're
Who
good.
has the upload power for Tubi? I just imagine like there's one person in charge of Tubi and what gets passed and what's monitored. And it's this little like greasy gnome looking guy in a basement. And he's like Tubi original. And it's like, oh
Well, because they can't like I think about well, like, do they have advertising?
yeah.
Do they have like ads? Oh, so I guess they do make money because it's free. It's totally free, and they have like real movies on there. Then there's like fake movies. Like just not even like home videos or whatever else is on there. But there are some movies. I don't know how they like swing that without charging at all.
I have a segment on my show. I think I've only done 2 episodes of it. And it was the Tubi movie challenge where I'll pick a Tubi movie that I've never seen, and then whoever my guest is, they've never seen,
Okay.
and we just have to watch it and then review it later. That's all it is.
Oh my
Tubi
God, I
movie
love
challenge.
that.
So obviously we're gonna have Caitlin back for a Tubi movie
Oh
challenge
my
because
gosh. Oh, I'm so in. Now I'm just picturing the Tubi man. Is it a man? Because I feel like it's easy to say it's just like some nerd in a basement who just like likes to stick it to the man and publish whatever crappy movie comes their way. You know what I mean? He's like anti-Hollywood or something, and he's like, every artist deserves a voice. But
I
then I'm
like
like,
that. I
no,
like
I
that.
like that. I mean, I like the nerd in the basement, but then I'm like, what if it's different?
But if
You
it
know?
is like just some rich Hollywood executive being like, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
mess with people's minds, Tubi, and it's like we're all in a
He's just
trance. We
like
all think
doing it
it's
on
like,
the side, but really works for Netflix or something.
yeah, probably.
Started it
And
like
they,
on her. It's a her, by the way.
oh
Because this is
yeah,
like a total like lady thing to do. Started it on her own secretly, just to give artists the voice that they deserve.
it's Caitlin.
It's me, Marie.
Spoiler
Shut
alert.
up, Marie. Oh my
Queen
God,
Tubi.
all from my like crappy laptop. I bought a gaming laptop because I use Photoshop all the time, so it has to be like really like have a really good processor. And the keyboard lights up like all different colors. Like right now it's rotating through like seven like a
Mhm.
rainbow of colors, like pink and green and purple. I've never noticed that in all the years that I've had this laptop. And I was around, it just turned blue. And I was around my family like a couple months ago, and they were like, what the is happening with your keyboard? And I was like, what do you mean? And they were like, that doesn't distract you. It's neon, like the whole thing lights up. I gotta take a picture for you. And I've never even noticed that. Not that it doesn't bother me. I've never even noticed it. Now it just turned red. Like, but anyway,
Wait,
that has nothing to do with
wait.
anything.
No, but how? Wait, is there a setting that maybe you didn't have on and then you turned it on and didn't know?
No,
Or
I
was
think
it just
it's always
always?
done that because it was back like I've known that it was backlit. I just didn't notice that it was like a rainbow of neon colors.
I'm trying to think like how that didn't like how you if you're so dead focused on your work.
You know, sometimes when you're just like, does my brain work?
Oh
You
yeah.
know? Do you have moments like that where you're like, I don't know. I don't know how I've been getting through, but like my situational awareness is lacking sometimes, which is concerning. Talk about Michael Myers. Concerning just because like it's like if I don't notice lights, I don't know if somebody's like creeping around my house. I don't know, I don't want to give people ideas, but it's like
I don't know how you were going to get from point A to point B there. Speaking of Michael Myers, I'm like, how does this play? From movies to video games, welcome to Replays It All. Today's episode is a cult class Christmas special. Hopefully, it airs on Christmas because our YouTube is still kind of on hiatus. But we're going to post it anyway. But we're with Caitlyn Grabenstein, aka cult.class, artist extraordinaire, multifaceted, talented, gifted, beautiful, wonderful human and woman and mother and wife and lovely human being. Caitlyn, hi.
hi.
Was that too much of an intro?
I want that everywhere I go. Before I walk into any room. Attention.
Okay, and you like a
That was like
fanfare,
the
like
nicest
trumpets.
thing anybody's ever said about me, all in one sentence. So thank you.
Aww.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, Caitlyn, tell everyone who you are and what's going
Uh,
on with you, Caitlyn.
I am a artist full time. I make collage, sci-fi, surreal, crazy kind of art on Instagram at cult.class. And that's what I do. Bunch of like, I guess, crazy art.
Crazy
Yeah.
and beautiful and awesome and just so talented and just wonderful. And I have it right here. I have some back there. I need to get some more. Oh,
Do you
no one's
really
just
do you
focused
have the
on it, but
cosmic love
the
up?
Cosmic Love's always here, always right by my face. Because I'd
Uh,
have horror everywhere, but like right here is like, actually, I love love and romance. Like I'm all like into spooky stuff, but actually, hold on,
I love that.
right there.
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's something
actually,
that I've made for anybody who's
yes.
watching. You look like a movie, like a found footage movie right now.
Oh
When they're like, hang
man.
on, let me set it up.
And then hauntings happen. Oh,
Yeah, and then like something's passing behind them.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they're like, what? What was that? And they catch it in the. Is that. Didn't you think we watch Host?
Yes, I made you watch Host.
That's like one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. I saw something that said scientifically that's considered one of the scariest movies ever.
Hmm.
And it's only like an hour long, right?
Yeah, it's like 57 minutes. It was filmed during quarantine time. The people, okay, we're just gonna talk about movies quick because this is today. Caitlin and I are just
Yeah,
talking about
sorry.
whatever we want. FYI, we're just gonna
This
talk
is
about
what
whatever we
Marie
want.
and I do every day anyway. We just ramble. So here we go.
Yeah,
Here we
so
go.
this is your gift. We're gonna talk
Yeah.
about movies. We'll talk about Christmas. We'll talk about spooky stuff. That's all gonna be part of it. Merry Christmas to you. Take it and go.
I
Okay.
love it.
So Host, yes, and it was filmed during quarantine, and the people, the actors in it, had to be directed through Zoom by the director in chat. And a
Yeah.
lot, and they didn't know what was coming. A lot of it was improv, and they didn't know what was going to happen to the other people in the Zoom. And they all had to be trained how to do like over video calls, how to do their own makeup, like their own like blood and stuff like that, because
Oh,
they didn't know
wow.
and there was no one else allowed. And so the stunt people had to do their own stunts and everything because like there was no one to help because it wasn't allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie's awesome. It's the only movie I ever screamed during ever.
I did not know any of that. Oh, or maybe I did when I watched it, but it's like I've never watched it or tried to think about it ever again because it's one of the scariest movies I've ever seen. So props to them because that is proof that you don't need expensive like what's that gear to make like great films.
No.
And that like legitimately the scariest scary movie I've seen. What other
Yeah.
scary movies? No, I think that's like top. That's way up there.
Really? And Paranormal Activity, I thought you're really afraid of. Another found footage.
I can't stand the first one. I when did I rewatched that last year? And then I'll like would like to never watch it again. Because it was I was like, was that scary? You're like, "Man, I don't know, I watched it so many years ago. I do not. The first one, all these other ones are okay.
Yeah, there's one, two, three, four. Then there's marked ones, then Ghost Dimension, then Next of Kin. I love all of them except for Ghost Dimension. It was terrible. But the rest of them, marked ones is my favorite, I think, is my favorite. I
Which
love.
one is the one where they're like it's found footage and they're at like it's I want to say like in an apartment building.
Is it the marked ones where it's like all like the Latino people?
Yes,
That's the best one. I love it.
that one was like crazy. But then there's the one where they're at a farm or something, and it's not really found footage. That's one you don't like.
No, I love that one. That's next of
Oh,
kin.
okay,
I love.
okay,
Well, I
okay.
don't love that one, but that one has one of the scariest scenes in it to me near the end that I thought was really cool. But no, there's one called Ghost Dimension, and it involves a kid and the parents just being like, "Oh, there's a ghost in your room. Okay, good night." Close the door and leave the kid to their own devices. And I'm like, no parent would do this.
I can't.
N-
I can't.
No one like I can't. I can't. We can't. When there's like
That's an
parents
issue
doing
I
weird things.
have with a lot. Ugh. No, I was just gonna say that's an issue I have with some of the Conjuring movies and stuff too, because it's like not the original Conjuring, but it's
Third,
like, is it the third one where they're like, oh well, whatever, go to bed. I remember we talked about it maybe when it came out. That's something that just I know drove me crazy with those movies. In a lot of scary movies, actually, but was that the one where it's the devil made me do it?
yes.
Yes.
I think that The Conjuring 3 too at the beginning, they're like trying to exorcise the demon out of this little boy and they didn't do it right or something. They're like, okay, go to bed, Jimmy, close him.
That's what happens.
Like, so stupid. And then
And the
there's
parents
also,
are like,
yeah,
bye.
have you,
Like they put him in a different room.
have you seen Exorcist Believer? Is that the new one with the
I
two
won't watch
girls?
any of the Exorcist derivative like
Like,
associated movies. I watched The Exorcist for the first time last year. That
mhm.
movie I can't stand.
Yeah, that movie's not just a film, is that movie's an experience. That's just
Oh,
like you're just
oh,
yeah, it's horrifying. But in this believer one, again, there's a possessed daughter, and she's just like
uh-huh.
upstairs in her room chilling, and her parents are on the main floor, just like hanging out in the kitchen. And they show up, and they're like, where is she? Oh, she's upstairs. She's possessed by the devil or a demon or Pazuzu, whatever, in her room by herself, just free. Like she's just,
No, yeah.
Reagan's at least tied up. Like Reagan's tied up at least so she can't hurt herself. This little girl's just like hanging out on her bed, like, yeah, that's
Well, is it set in modern time or
yeah.
is it okay? Because I was gonna say Devil Made Me Do It actually I think is set in the 70s, 80s. But maybe it's like this whole new age parenting thing where it's like gentle parenting, but gentle
Oh my.
parenting possessed kids. Like it's like we don't want to force them to get rid of this demon if they don't want to do that.
And we can't tie them up because then Child and Family Services is going to come and they won't understand. They're going to take our kid away. And you know what? We don't tell them no. We just like let them do their own thing. They'll find their own way. And that's how you get your kids possessed.
Well, like Exorcist was a different time. It's like you could tie kids
Yeah.
up, whatever, who cares?
Yeah.
You know? Now it's like a little more. So maybe it's just a the gentle parenting approach to possessions. But no, I have not watched Believer because I refuse. I can't. I can't. Anything associated with the that movie, I can't.
Don't watch it. And I'm going
No.
to tell you what I'm going to tell you what I hate about that movie the most. Okay, let me just tell you something. I'm gonna
Okay.
spoil it. You're not gonna watch it. And it's not even spoiling it. It's just telling you one part of it. Okay, so it's the mom, the real mom from The Exorcist, the first one, Reagan's mom. Okay, she's in
Oh,
the
cool.
movie.
Like the same actress?
Yes,
Oh,
she's
cool.
in the
Okay.
movie. She's talking to this guy, one of the dads of the possessed girls, and she's talking about Reagan's exorcism. And when I
Mhm.
watched Exorcist, I think last year, and I kind of tried to look at it from a different view, where I'm like, this is a movie about a mother's love, her dedication. Like that mom did not give up on her daughter at all. She listened to her, she believed her, which was like so cool. She was such a good mom in that movie. So I tried to look at it a little bit on that side instead of just the horrific imagery of that movie, which is terrifying. But anyway, this guy
Honestly,
comes
side
and
note, that is sorry, the best part of that movie is like you're like, why don't you put her in a room? Why don't you tie her up? Why don't you get a priest? She does everything.
mhm, yes,
And maybe that's why it's like stood the test of time because so many of these other movies that we're talking about, you're like, nobody would ever freaking do that. Same with sci-fi movies. I love sci-fi movies, but you're like, nobody would do that. But for The
no.
Exorcist, like if that was happening, this lady does everything right, basically.
Everything. Even she even goes against her own like beliefs and is like, "Oh, I'm going to try
Mm-hmm.
everything. I'm not religious, but God, get me a priest in here. Nothing else is working." Like
Yep.
that's the best part of the movie and how much she like loves her daughter. She brings in the priest. The priests are like, we're gonna save her, and they do, and it's beautiful. It's horrifying, but they save her. This is actually a very pro-Catholic movie.
Hmm.
But anyway, in the new one, the mom saying to the guy of the dad, he asks her, "Were you allowed in the room when they were doing the exorcism?" Because it's like, it's horrifying. Like they're exorcising her daughter. Like you wouldn't want the mom there. First of all, I'm thinking the mom would distract, the demon would try to get to the mom and like go prey on her like love for her daughter. And then she'd try to like save her daughter from the priest or whatever. Like the demon's going to
Right.
try to toy with your thing. The
Right.
priest also don't want the mom to see that, right? Like you
Right.
don't want to see what's going to happen.
Right.
So, but in this movie, he's like, "Were you allowed in the room when they were exercising her?" And she said, "No, because of the damn patriarchy." This is in the
What?
script. They made
What? First
Reagan,
of all,
they made Reagan's mom get mad at the priest who saved her daughter's life, who she was so thankful for, and Reagan was so thankful for that she hugged the
in
priest
this
at the
new
end.
movie, in the new
In this
movie.
new movie, they make her get mad at the priest for not allowing her in the room, blaming it on the patriarchy. I
That doesn't even really make sense. Like that line just doesn't even, it's like what? That doesn't even make sense. Okay. Also, why are we making a statement in a movie like this? It's like such a ridiculous movie. It's not like, I don't know, it's not some artsy drama that's like supposed to be earth-shattering. It's just like, why is that in that movie?
Because it's David Gordon Green, and he ruined Halloween and he ruined The Exorcist. So you know
Oh, is
what?
it the same director?
Yeah. And guess what? He's not coming back for the next Exorcist movie. Mike Flanagan is. So
Mike Flanagan. I love
yeah.
everything Mike Flanagan does. Also, side note, I'm playing with the cord of my headphones, and then my headphones over here just moved and it scared the shit out of me. We're talking about demons and stuff. And then I pulled it. I didn't realize, but totally thought something else moved it, scaring me.
Your situational awareness is good. Your situational awareness is well, sort of.
I feel like in survival mode it's good, but in like keyboard color mode, not great.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
so
we
anyway,
also,
so
yeah. So anyway, I guess at
okay,
Christmas, right? I guess we should talk
so
about Christmas or
Christmas.
something. So we talked about movies. So let's just say, okay, I actually want to know this because I don't know this about you. I don't know this about you at all. But what is your favorite Christmas movie one you have to watch every year?
It was so funny. You were like asking me all these Christmas. You were like, I'll probably ask Christmas things, think about like Christmas things. I have like very few opinions about Christmas or
Okay, I
thoughts.
was
I don't
wondering. I
know.
was
It's not my least favorite holiday. I like Christmas, but it's like Thanksgiving and Halloween come before. Like I like them more. I hate to say it, but I like Christmas. So I was like, I should pick something. So if I pick something, it would be Elf.
okay. I was gonna ask if you don't like Christmas because of the patriarchy. Santa, Jesus, all these
Yeah,
men,
that's
the
that's
elves.
I mean, I didn't want to say it,
Yeah,
but that's
what it is.
everything.
So okay, not really Christmas. Okay, okay. Halloween, yes, obviously. Thanksgiving, I agree. Like Thanksgiving is like
Right? I do like Christmas, but it's like Thanksgiving's so fun because you just get to see people but eat and hang out. It's not the whole gift thing. And the thing about Christmas is once Christmas happens, then like nothing comes after that. I don't want to be like a Deb about it, but then you're like in January.
January blows.
You know what I mean? It's like
Ugh.
Halloween, then you have Thanksgiving. You're like really on a roll. You're like, yeah.
Mm.
And then Christmas comes and goes, and you're like, ah, after Christmas Day, it's like, all right. I guess you have New Year's if you're a New Year's person, which I'm also not. Am I just like Grinchy?
No, I love Christmas, but I understand your feelings because like Thanksgiving, especially for you guys, is more Christmassy because our Thanksgiving is so much, not so much, but our Thanksgiving is like a month earlier than yours.
Oh, right. Yep. Yeah, yeah. Yours is in October, isn't it?
Yeah, it's before
Yeah.
Halloween. It's like the middle of October. You guys have like the holiday season, which is like Thanksgiving and Christmas, almost like bundled together. But Thanksgiving, there's less pressure because yeah, there's no presents, there's no
That's the
worrying about
thing.
all that stuff. But
But I do. I like Christmas. I didn't think of like I mean, it would definitely be Elf. I mean, I like them all. If they're on, I'll watch anything. But oh my gosh, and National Lampoon's Christmas.
Mm.
That was like one of the
Mhm.
best. What about your favorite movie?
Probably Black Christmas.
Oh my gosh, did you tell me to watch that?
So Black Christmas is actually directed by the same man who did A Christmas Story,
Oh, cool.
but he directed Black Christmas first. I grew up with A Christmas Story, so Christmas Story is very top of the list. Black Christmas, also Family Man. Oh, I love Family Man.
I've never seen any of these. Family Man. The Black
Oh
Christmas,
my
the
God.
cover is like somebody with a bag over their head. Is that the
Oh
right one?
yeah, it's a horror movie, yeah.
Oh, it's a horror movie? Oh, well, that fits, I guess. And what did you say? Family Man? Oh, it's Nick Cage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're not a biggest fan. It's really good and it's funny and it's heartwarming and it's like, oh my God, and it makes you appreciate what you have. And Family Man's good. Also Violent Night. I'm putting Violent Night right up there because I love Violent Night
Violent
so
Night.
much.
Violent Night's great. Well, now I want to watch Family Man because I love like cute movies like that. Oh, I love The Family Stone. That's a good movie
Oh
too.
yeah.
That's a
Yes.
great that's a great one. Just talk about like family stuff.
Yeah, and I mean Home Alone's good, but the ones that I have to watch every year are definitely Family Man, Black Christmas, and now Violent Night. Ever since last year, I think I watched Violent Night 4 times last Christmas. So I love it so
Really?
much. Yeah.
That movie's great. It's just so ridiculous that it's like excellent. You know what I mean? So over the top. That's the word.
Okay, so Christmas movies. What else I say? I was going to ask you. Oh, if you want to answer this,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
if we're telling like little family Christmas stories, I just want to know what is like a gift you got at Christmas. You don't even have to say who it's from. Where you're like, oh, thanks. You're like, what?
I see
Is there
you
any?
asked that, but I like couldn't. It's so funny. I've gotten those gifts in my life, but as far as Christmas, I can't distinctly remember anything. I mean, like when I was younger, I'd get like socks or something like that and be like, yay, thanks, but
Now I'm
now I
like, yes, socks. I love getting
I
socks.
know. Now I'm like, ooh, cool deodorant. This stuff's expensive now. Like, I'll
Yeah,
take it. Like, honestly, my mom texted me. She was like, "What kind of deodorant do you and like my husband Nick use?" And I was like, "Yes, she's gonna throw in some deodorant into our gifts this year." I don't think that's a
nice.
hint at like I think we smell good. I just had to throw that out there in case somebody's listening and they're like, "Is she not getting the hint that she doesn't smell
Yeah,
good?" We definitely she buys deodorant for everyone. But I'm trying to
mom's
think.
funny.
Uh,
Oh,
like
deodorant's a funny one. Deodorant is a funny one though, because my mom's never bought me deodorant as like a stocking stuffer. Like no one's ever been
oh
like,
really?
"Hey, never."
Oh, like
Deodorant's
every
kind of
year.
funny.
Wait, maybe now like
You're like,
maybe
wait,
she's
maybe some things that I am getting aren't traditional or quite normal, but let me think.
yeah. Or maybe she is trying to tell us something.
No, no. I bet you look like you smell good.
Thank you. That's one of the best compliments I've ever gotten too. That's very nice.
I imagine your hair smelling so good, like a dewy meadow, but like not like a gross dewy meadow, like mossy, but like, vibrant and I don't know, nice. You look like you smell
Thank
like a
you.
Arctic
It
glacier. No, I don't
it
know.
doesn't smell good right now because I use scent-free shampoo and hair products for deer season, but it usually smells really good. Just to
Wait, you
clarify.
you have to tell people why though. Like, 'cause I didn't know about this in deer hunt, like hunting and stuff. Why do you use scentless things for deer season, and what do you mean by deer season if people don't know that you hunt?
Yeah, sorry. I am a bow hunter. I do archery, and deer have really good sense of smell. And so you could hunt the wind, which is basically like sit in a way so that the wind will blow your scent behind, away from you and away from the deer. But now there are all these products that like kill your scent. They're literally called scent killer that like totally kill your scent. And so the deer can't smell you at all. Ideally, they still might because again, they have great noses. But so you just want to not smell so that you can shoot them with a with an arrow. With an arrow. That's what I do.
It's funny because I wear this scentless stuff because of deer season, and it sounds like there's a bunch of deer just around all the time. That if you wore something nice, they'd be attracted to it and like attack you or something. Like that's what it sounds like if you don't know what you're talking
People,
deer
well, people
season.
get gored. There are people who've gotten
Yeah,
gored by deer. I feel like people don't
yes,
know that. But like, so sometimes you can use like scent attractants. This is a whole other ramble. Delete what you want.
no, Merry
You can
Christmas. This is what you're getting for Christmas. You open it up, it's a bag of socks, but it's really just Caitlyn and I talking about whatever the hell we want.
a
Take it.
bag of socks. Socks? Yeah, we said a
I
great
mean,
gift.
nowadays,
Anyway,
yeah.
so you could use a scent attractant and you'd smell like a doe and heat. And so sometimes
Oh.
I put that on my, it's a very bad smell. It smells
Oh.
awful. And so I put it on my boots sometimes when I walk to my stand because it'll like kind of make a trail of a scent. But when I go to my stand, it'll be at like 4 in the morning or something. And I've thought about that. Like there might be a big buck that I'll just get. Like if he's in like rut, no, he'll come and like gore me. Like
Or
he'll
worse.
come. Because one time, or worse, no, because one time I was sitting in a blind and I had two deer run who were in the rut. This has nothing to do, I mean, if you're really into deer, this is who ran by my blind, literally almost took out my whole blind, literally almost took me out, would not have cared that I was sitting there. I mean, it was the craziest experience. It was like two horses that almost ran right into me. So, I don't know why. Yeah, so they will attack you based on scent. That's what I was getting at.
That's so scary, but this is suiting because we it is Christmas and we're talking about like reindeer. Oh, you know what I mean? It's not you're hunting reindeer, but like it's
Yeah.
fitting to the Christmas
It is
season. Like
fitting. Yeah.
big Dancer and Prancer, and you put your vixen scent on your boots. You go out there.
Prancer, Prancer, and Vixen.
What is
To
it
be
like?
or not to be. Why are reindeer associated with Santa? Did we look that up?
Because of like
I don't know why I said did we look that up like as if that was planned. Let's ask ChatGPT why
mhm.
are reindeer associated with Santa? Why does my mom buy us deodorant now? It's like really bugging me. Like, where did it start? Like, did her mom buy her deodorant? Or did where was it a thing? Because she buys it for everyone. Where was it a thing where somebody smelled, but they didn't want to make that one person feel uncomfortable, so they just started buying it for everybody? Honestly, I could see that. I don't know who it was at some point in my family lineage, but
She's spiraling about this deodorant thing. Like I gotta know. Do I stink? Do
I
I like
just gotta
where
know.
does it stem from? Who was the first smeller? Who was the first stinky one?
Who was
Who
the
started
first
this?
smelly relative that made this a tradition? Reindeer have long been part of Northern European and Arctic mythology and culture. Really? Oh, it's from a poem. A Visit from St. Nicholas by Clement Clark Moore. It introduced the idea of Santa's sleigh being pulled by eight tiny reindeer. How random. Like, was just some guy was just like, it'd be cute. And it just
Just
stuck. How
it was
weird would
just
it be if you just wrote something that stuck like that?
that was back in the day when you could just do stuff like that. And everyone's like, wait, did you hear that? He probably was like some drunk guy on eggnog, just like, yeah, eight tiny not reindeer. They were tiny.
1823. So it's like news spread fast, though. I mean, it wasn't like the internet. So
Yeah.
somebody thought it was a brilliant idea and told everybody else. They're like, check out this poem where reindeer are pulling Santa's sleigh. Because otherwise, how's Santa getting around? It's these
Yeah.
flying reindeer. But then, but then Rudolph comes in 1939. That story was created by Robert L. May as part of the Christmas promotional booklet for Montgomery Ward. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer became a beloved addition to the Santa lore, leading to a song and further solidifying the connection between reindeer and Christmas. So somebody was like, maybe it's reindeer flying the sleigh, and then over 100 years later, somebody was like, what if one's nose lights up?
We need to know the logic behind this reindeer thing, why Rudolph's nose lights up in red, and who was the first stinker in Caitlyn's family. These are the things we need to get down to the bottom of.
Just buying all the deodorant. Why are we buying all the deodorant? Do you have a gift that you've gotten that was like a weird moment?
Caitlyn, My dad's parents, they were so hilarious. You would never even, it's like from a movie. When my Pepe, my grandpa, was in like the old folks' home, there around Christmas time, there was elves all around the old folks' home. I call it old folks' home. I don't know what else to call it. What do they call that? Elderly care home?
When you say elves, you mean actors?
No, there was like these elf decorations.
Oh, okay, okay.
And my grandpa decided to put, I don't know if he drew them, I don't know what happened, but like all these fake on them. And they knew it was him. So this is my family. They knew
Oh my gosh.
because he was a jokester like that. And when I talk about these presents, I don't want you to think they were poor because they were not poor. They were set, they were good.
Okay.
They were just odd in like the
Okay.
most hilarious way ever, and we love them for it. This is the type of presents they give. They had a property with a cabin on it, and there was a man that they just let live on their property in like some trailer, and he passed away. And
Hmm.
they decided to take his clothes, wrap them up, and gift them to their sons for Christmas present. And they weren't shy
The
about
dead
it too. Like
man's?
the dead man's clothes. So my dad and my uncles are like opening their presents and they're like, "Oh, these sweaters." And they're like, "Yeah, that's from what's his name who died? Those are his sweaters we decided to give to you." And like they had no shame. They were like, "Yeah, well, why not? They're free. I'll take these sweaters. They're not worn. You guys can have them." Yeah. They would take candies and just put them in Ziploc bags. Here you go, Merry Christmas. One time I got
Oh
a
my gosh.
yeah, I got a gift card holder with no gift card in it. Um, my she gave my grandma gave my mom a picture of a printed out from the computer picture of my mom and dad in a frame that had my graduation picture in it. And she's like, "Oh, we just left Marie's graduation picture in the back. Like, take it back."
Oh my God, I love these people. Oh my gosh. Wait, did you say a gift card without a gift card in it?
Yeah. And
I
then
love
she was
them.
like,
I love
"Oh,
them.
it must have fallen out in my purse." So then she, yeah.
Did you ever get it? Or is that just a
Yeah,
lie?
I think she gave it back. I think she gave it to me. But it was so funny because we just like knew it was going to be hilarious. Then they started this whole garage sale gift exchange, and I got
Okay.
a used massager, a used back massager. There's something I'm forgetting. There's like a really good one I'm forgetting. But yeah,
I
there's
love
a bunch
this.
of that. Yeah, it was so fun. You were always looking forward because we would hang out on Boxing Day. Boxing Day is the day after Christmas in Canada. It's
Okay.
basically like a Black Friday, and I don't really know where it came from, but it came from Britain somewhere, the UK.
Okay.
Boxing Day, it's a Canadian thing. So that's when we would get together day after Christmas, and we look forward to it every year because we're like, what shenanigans? What's going to happen? We don't even know. Anything can happen at a Larrabee family gathering. We don't know.
That's awesome. I
Yeah.
aspire to be like your grandparents. I just want to like wrap some up and give it to people.
Oh,
And
that
like
yeah,
make
they
it funny. Like make it fun. Like just wait until you see their face.
Oh yeah. They'd like re-gift things and they like to people in front of the person who gave it to them. They didn't care. Like they just did not care. Like these people had no shame and to the point where you admire the hell out of them. I think
They were
like what?
like,
We were all
whatever.
together at Christmas. That's what's important. Who cares? Like gifts here, take this. Take your graduation picture back. I don't care. It's not
So
gonna affect you. Like
awesome. That's so awesome. That's like how Christmas should be. There's
yeah.
so much consumerism. I was talking about that with someone the other day. There's so much consumerism, and we have so much stuff. It would just be so funny or useful for people to just be like, here's a book I read that's really good, or whatever.
Here's something that I have and I love and I loved and I used and I loved it and I want to pass it on to you. But I honestly really did love the garage sale Christmas gifts exchange. I love that because like people purposely buy like the most ridiculous crap at a garage sale and we'd exchange.
That's really
It
fun
was
though. It's
so,
like makes it
so
fun and
funny.
funny. I
Yeah.
actually really like all this
Yeah,
because
and there's no pressure. Like it wasn't pressure like, "Oh, we gotta do." It was just like, "What are we gonna get? It's gonna be hilarious and we're all gonna hang out and have fun. It's gonna be so funny." Like that's
that's
what it was like.
so
Yeah.
funny. I love that because Christmas has become, and that's partially why I'm less enthusiastic about it, probably. It's become so commercialized and materialistic and like so consumer driven. And so I actually really like it. I mean, they're funny, but I like, it's good memories.
You'll see though with a baby and with kids, it's like that Christmas magic comes back and because it's all for them and you don't care about yourself and it's just like all for your kid and it's just yeah, it's
Yeah. So anybody listening, I just had my first baby, and Marie has two kids. And Nick and I, that's my husband, we were like, nobody, we're not gonna get him gifts, like consumerism, like whatever. He's got everything, he's got so many things from his baby shower and stuff, like, and he does, he has all the things, and then now we've have a ton of gifts under the tree.
Yeah.
We were like, I bought a tricycle. I don't even know why. It was just so cute. It's so cute. It had to just be, it was like a Christmas card, just like the tricycle under the Christmas tree. It's just so cute. So yeah, you're right about that. It's like I'll become less grinchy as he gets older, probably too, and Santa comes and everything. So, but thank you for sharing your gifts, your
Oh yeah.
crazy gifts. Although yours are good, they're wild, but they're great. At least somebody doesn't think you smell.
I kind of wish my mom would buy me deodorant because you're right, it is expensive.
I
Mom,
told
get me
you.
deodorant.
It's like how much is it in Canada? Like here it's like 7, $8 all of a sudden.
Yeah. Then if you want like the stuff that doesn't kill you or give you cancer, it's like $20.
Oh, yeah, I just buy the aluminum. I shouldn't, but
I just take aluminum foil and just rub it on my armpit.
just rub it in there, whatever. I used to be like organic, but I run, well, especially in the summer, and it's like that just ain't doing it, you know?
It doesn't cut it. It
It
does not.
doesn't
And it'll say 24-hour protection. I'm like, yeah, what? If I'm just sitting still in a cool, non-humid
exactly.
environment and not stressed
Exactly.
out or doing anything, if I don't sweat,
Exactly.
maybe this will help, but it doesn't.
It doesn't. No, it
It
doesn't
don't.
work. So I don't know what they're gonna do to fix that, but until they fix it, I'm just buying whatever. I don't even know.
Now how do you fix it? Put aluminum in it. That's how they fix it.
Yeah, well, right. Exactly.
There's this thing I was looking up about Christmas. What does it say? The monsters of Christmas, and it was giving me like all these things I've never heard of before in my life.
Whoa, cool.
This is Gryla, and she's one of Iceland's most renowned figures associated with Christmas. Then pronounce it right. Gryla is a giant troll who is in a perpetual bad mood due to her insatiable hunger for children.
Oh, I was about to say it sounds like me until the for children part.
Okay, wait. Each Christmas, Gryla comes down from her mountain dwelling to hunt for naughty children. She places them in a sack and drags them back to her cave where she boils them alive for her favorite stew. Oh, and she has 13 sons, the Yule lads. And then it tells me about the Yule lads that are her children, that she didn't, I guess they're all in line.
I just wanted to add that if you like get rid of her weird little kid thing and replaced it with like deer and she like is in a bad mood, and she comes down from her mountain house and she like hunts deer and turns them into stews and stuff, then really I could be Gryla. Just a
Yeah.
cranky troll coming out of my house to hunt deer and make stews.
Okay, so her 13 sons, each known for a particular habit or characteristic, much like the Disney version of Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. Most of them are depicted as mischievous pranksters and petty criminals. Icelandic children are visited each night on the 13 days leading up to Christmas by a different Yule lad, including such charmers as, here's their names: Sheep Coat Clog, a peg-legged sheep fancier; Gullyhawk, who hides out in ditches or gullies and waits for an opportune moment to run into the cowshed and lick the foam off of the milk in his milking buckets;
Who wrote, where are you reading this from?
Stubby, whose name denotes his stature as he is unusually short; Spoon Licker, a licker and thief of spoons; Pot Scraper, who is a petty thief of leftovers; Bowl Licker, who hides under your bed and waits for you to absent-mindedly put down your bowl so he can steal it and, yes, lick it; Door
You're so
Slammer,
oddly specific. Continue.
who slams your doors at night; Skyr Gobbler, who eats Skyr yogurt; Sausage Swiper, who steals sausage; Window Peeper, who watches you from the windows. Ew, these could be all like really bad innuendos. Doorway Sniffer,
Norway? Like the country?
doorway, 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 who uses his
Sniffer?
who uses his incredibly large nose to sniff, through doors to find bread, Meat Hook, who always brings a hook along with him so he can steal meat, and Candle Stealer, who follows children around so he can steal their candles, leaving them in the dark. Okay,
First of
this
all,
is
did you say that Gryla was a witch? Because she's a
no
witch.
a troll, it says.
It says, so for me, it says Christmas witch. She is
Ugh.
both an ogre-like creature
Okay.
and a shapeshifter, mine says.
Wendigo?
Wendigo.
So that was that. We covered all bases. We talked about movies at like random movies. We talked about demons. We talked about Christmas a little bit. We talked about presents, talked about Christmas movies. We talked about scary Christmas things. I mean, I think we covered everything. Merry Christmas, everyone.
I think we covered everything.
Thank you for watching this episode of Replays It All, the Cult Class Christmas special, where we just talked about whatever we wanted to, and that was your gift. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. You can find more of our content on our YouTube channel, Not a Strong Start. You can follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Not a Strong Start. You can listen to us anywhere you listen to your podcast. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, all that stuff. You can follow me at Instagram at Marie Plays It All. Where can everyone find you, Caitlyn?
On Instagram at cult.class. And thank you so much for having me.
And where can we listen to your podcast, Caitlyn?
Spotify, the Cult Class Podcast.
Nice.
Or Apple Podcasts, I guess, too. Wherever you listen to podcasts, you can find it. So
And at the end of my episodes, Caitlin, I say never stop playing. And then I always say never stop doing something else. What else should we never stop doing?
I wanted to say laughing. It has nothing to do with anything, though. Just
It
feel like
does,
it's
though. Never
a
stop
positive
laughing.
thing.
It
Never
is.
stop laughing.
Never stop sniffing in a doorway. Look at us.
Look at us.
Look,
Look
look
at
at us.
us.